Hi. So, sorry. I'm sure that you recall the last time that I read, I just did Aries. Happy birthday, Gemini. It is your turn. Yes, indeed it is. And I apologize. I had to take some time. We all need a minute from time to time. And I did. Apologies on the nails. Yeah. I just got back from Mexico. And I thought, what better time to, and I know, where's my tan? Where's my tan? But anyway, Gemini, this is your reading. I did want to first apologize to Taurus because I did have to take some time to kind of get my shit together. Got to get my shit together, better gather my shit in. It's funny because one of the songs was Don't Swallow the Cap by The National. Then we had Violets in a Pool by Tamarin and Another Day by The Cure. We're going to get your affirmation, then we're going to do 3 lines, past, present, future. And we'll grab some magnetic poetry for you. And please do make sure that if you haven't already done so to hit this button to subscribe, do all the things. I'm not really I'm trying not to do long intros, but it happens. But yeah, I did have to kind of get some things figured out for myself. We all do from time to time. Let's see what your affirmation is using the I Am Power Pack for the month of June and into July. We're looking at June, July for you guys. I'm going to try and be a little bit more intentional about doing readings. It's been something that I keep on telling myself every day that I'm going to do, but I've had a lot of stuff going on as far as travel. I've got a couple of projects that I'm trying to work on, including myself. I think that it's important to continuously be working on yourself. So that's kind of a thing. And, yeah. For you, though, I am financially secure. That's your affirmation. So everything you need to know is in the description box of the video. I'm not going to go on a big preamble about any of that kind of thing because it just takes up too much time. And I know that it's difficult enough as it is to get people to watch, which makes it difficult. We're going to use the the Joie de Vivre Tarot by Paulina Cassidy. Not very well spoken on the first read ever, and I'm always nervous every time I come to do the first read after not doing them for a while. This is it. The sound is coming in. I had a great time in Puerto Vallarta. I had a lot of things that I hadn't done ever in my entire life that I encountered when I was out there. So it was a really great trip for me. It's funny at this age, I'm pushing 40 and it's interesting how that happens. The feeling of, oh my God, my life is over. But then at the same time thinking to yourself, wow, there's so many things that I'm doing right now that are firsts. I think that's valuable to remember if you're going through something similar in your life at any stage of life, is that there's so many things that are still firsts, right? So anyway, Gemini, let's start with your past energy. Sound is coming in. The sound is coming in. The sound is coming in. So anyway, twist for fairness for you. Again, I apologize for the nervous energy. You just get it. You get that part of me. And there's a lot of astrological stuff that's happening right now. You should probably check out through a couple of different pages of Tarot Ship. Is somebody who's amazing for astrology. Psychic Sounds by B, also awesome for astrology. But yeah. Let's get started for you. I only take flippers and jumpers. I do get ringing in my ears on this side when I'm getting certain types of messages, and then this side when there are other types of messages. So if I hear things, I'll talk about them. We already have one card. So in your past, you have a meeting that didn't happen for you that you were hoping to. Two of Cups energy there. So a meeting of the minds, two individuals, the meeting of the two, I often call that. It's two people coming together of an emotional sense, or two people coming together to discuss things, or just even, you know, you could be looking at it like it's a date. You could be looking at it like it's two people just kind of coming together. I'm looking at the candle over there. It's not even lit. You might have been waiting for some type of candlelight dinner or something like that, but it's more than likely that you just weren't. You were expecting to meet up with somebody in the past and it never happened. You could still be waiting for it. Getting that over here. You could still be waiting on it. What else? In the recent past, Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. All the various shades of gray. All the various shades of gray. Come on, tell me. For the past. I know I'm just jumping right into it, aren't I? You know, after disappearing for a little bit, it's kind of interesting how that works, isn't it? You know, I'm often mentally exhausted after work. I work in finance. I do a lot of math all day, coding, a lot of different things, a lot of different stuff that kind of just is very mentally draining. That could have been one of the reasons why this meeting didn't happen, is because something was mentally draining. I won't take 4 cards. I'm not going to take those. Take 3 or less. How many more? I keep seeing the Tower in the reverse. Oh, here we go. Okay. Queen of Swords in the upright with the 9 of Swords. Okay. A sense of justice, a deep sense of justice or injustice. Here, this is Libra energy, feminine Libra energy, but, you know, it doesn't have to be a woman. With the 9 of Swords, anxiety, sleepless nights, worry. It could be over a court case or something. You could have been experiencing anxiety about not meeting with somebody and feeling like there's a lack of fairness, or worried about dishonesty to do with it. Could have also had nightmares associated with it. There's a sense of injustice or a sense of a lack of equilibrium or balance when it comes to this. She's also holding a key there. She's kind of the person who presides over equilibrium, fairness, truth, law. What is fair and precise? What is logic? You know, what is strategy? It could be a Libra individual that you were hoping to meet up with. You could have Libra in your chart. But you're up in your head about it to the point of not sleeping at night or dreaming about it. And troublesome, anxiety-ridden dreams. Tell me more. Tell me more. Okay. Well, those didn't flip, but this one fell. 4 coins in the reverse. You might have spent some money on this person, or be worried about your finances. There could be a lawsuit here that has to do with finances, and you're worried that somebody didn't show up and you spent some money on something. You lost money. You're worried about a loss of money because this meeting didn't happen. Feeling like you got ripped off. This is also a warning to hold your cards close to your chest, your strategies close to your chest, but also to save. Save your energy, save your resources, spiritual and monetary. There's a great deal of worry over losing money, or losing your spiritual resources. You might have spent some money and felt that somebody took the money, take the money and run. That's Idiotic by Radiohead. Take the money and run. Somebody took the money and ran. You were expecting them to meet up with you and they didn't. And they're saying you got you. It's almost like they're saying that you got your just desserts, but you know different. With that Queen of Swords, you know that you might have gotten cheated out of something and you've lost out in some regard as far as spiritual, mental, and monetary. What else do we have here in the past? 2 kicked out. The 3 of coins in the upright, and the 5 of coins in the upright. Somebody's saying you'd be better off if you were just friends. You're feeling left out in the cold. But there is an offer here, or a contract of sorts that's coming to you. Remember, you're the one who keeps yourself warm at the end of the day. Classically, and you probably heard a lot of tarot readers talk about this, the Five of Pentacles is somebody who's sitting outside of a church, and churches were places of sanctuary. Coincidentally, when I was in Puerto Vallarta, they have a cathedral. It's a Maria de Guadalupe, the church. It was so beautiful in there, and you're not allowed to bring your phones in or take pictures or any of that kind of stuff. But a lot of people were in there taking rest from the heat, in fact. But the doors were open to the church. The doors weren't closed or locked. The doors weren't even closed, never mind locked. And I think that is something that does, it reminded me of the Five of Pentacles in a lot of ways, the classic depiction of the Five of Pentacles. Remember, you're choosing to keep yourself out in the cold, and that you clothe yourself in warmth. You can choose to keep yourself warm. You can choose to see where you haven't lost out, whether it be the lesson or something else. There is something here of an offer or something of a partnership, or somebody telling you that they would just like to be friends, or friendship that surrounds you that you can cloak yourself in to keep yourself warm. But remember, this does have to do with self-empowerment, because this person's alone. Normally there are two individuals in the Five of Pentacles, but here it's only one person. In the present for you, Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Flipper. The Ace of Coins in the reverse. So there is, I think this is more friendship than in the past. You're getting an offer that isn't coming to you. I think you were looking at an offer, a meeting of the minds here that didn't happen. I think you were looking at an offer that was supposed to be forthcoming. It didn't happen. This is something that was supposed to be a beginning on the tangible plane for you, something that you could see, touch, taste, and feel, right? With the Ace of Pentacles, it normally can be the beginning of a contract, something that has to do with monetary gain, but also for some people, it can be something that is of the beginning of a legacy of sorts, the beginning of something that has to do with building with someone. And it didn't happen. In a way, there is poetic justice in this. Having the Queen of Swords up above it. It's actually, it's like that saying, rejection is God's protection. I think that's hugely prevalent here, having the Queen of Swords kind of hanging on the side of the Two of Cups in the reverse with this Ace of Pentacles in the reverse, is that rejection is protection in a lot of ways. Because maybe there is a sense of, sorry, so I'm getting like, you might have actually always had like a nagging feeling, or like goosebumps whenever you're dealing with some individual or with a certain situation. Or like, you know, when the hair on the back of your neck stands up when you're dealing with something. Or when you discuss something. Hey, somebody from your past, or, you know, if you have a spirit guide that you believe in, or an ancestor, or a loved one who's passed on, they might actually touch you on the shoulder when you're thinking about this, or to warn you when it comes to this, you know, meeting that didn't happen. Or maybe that's why it didn't happen. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's because somebody cheated you and didn't show up or stood you up. Maybe you decided to, you know, do an about face, and you didn't show up to something because you had a nagging feeling that it wasn't going to be good for you. Maybe you pulled out on a deal of some sort. Or maybe you decided not to show up for that day. Maybe you stood somebody up. Maybe it's because you understood, right, somebody's taking the piss. There's somebody who grabs your shoulder. Put your hand on my shoulder. Is that song, Put Your Hand on My Shoulder? It's been so long since I've done readings, I can't remember. Somebody had that a long time ago. In the present, Gemini. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Still feel cheated by this, though. Yeah. So you're in quiet repose right now. This is you taking a minute. In deep meditation. Time to take stock of things. Time to kind of take a minute to see where you're at and regain equilibrium, rather. Take a look at your anxieties. Take stock of them. Ask yourself the whys of the situation. Figure out what it is that, where is the root of that anxiety? Why is that anxiety there? Where are you out of equilibrium? What truths and lies are you telling yourself about that meeting of the two? I don't know that it's a romance thing. It could be any nature of thing. It could be an offer of a material sense. You have a lot of pentacles here. It seems to me that there's a lack of balance. You might have been kind of two minds on something, but biased in some way. And in going within, turning within, meditating on something, but really meditating on something, being mindful, not to look too much into the future, not to look too much into the past, but to stay in the present moment and sit with your thoughts and feelings when you're experiencing the anxiety in a situation, nervousness, when you have those nights where dreams are creeping up on you or those feelings are creeping up on you, sitting with them rather than escaping them, pushing them aside, and really taking stock of them. I mean, this is contemplative energy. If you look, this is somebody who is contemplating their thoughts and their feelings and their heart. Quiet repose after heartbreak. In order to regain balance with that Queen of Swords above and the Nine of Swords above, it's got to do with this Two of Cups in the reverse. Tell me more. The Sun in the reverse, yeah. I don't want to be cliche about it and say it's a dark night of the soul with that Nine of Swords. But there is darkness. There is a darkness that dominates your thoughts and your anxieties during the night. That could be where you're needing to gain equilibrium. There's also a pessimism that dominates your thoughts. Your anxiety is ridden with pessimism. There's regret here about giving something away, giving too freely, either of your resources or of yourself, understanding better in that regret that you or somebody else was taking too freely or giving too freely. With that Queen of Swords, there's just not the balance. In fact, it's almost like seeing these cards in this, configuration says Six of Pentacles in the reverse. What else? And the shitty thing is, Gems, that I've been seeing this type of thing for you. I remember because I've given Gemini huge pep talks about this crap in the past, about, not every relationship is going to lead to a Ten of Cups and all these other things. I think there's something that is reticent of that here, or rather reminiscent of that here. You're talking to me today. And what do we have? You're looking for this. You gave something away in search of the Ten of Cups. You're realizing now where you can provide yourself with this Ten of Cups. I got Five of Coins above. You're anxious about the Ten of Cups in the present. Your mind is focused on the wrong things. You have regret over the past, anxiety over the future, and your present thoughts are dominated by darkness associated with this Ten of Cups. You're looking for the emotional zenith. You're looking for somebody else to provide you with respite from the cold, yet you ultimately are the one who wraps the blanket around yourself in the past. Nobody keeps you warm except you. But you keep on, you're shrouded in darkness here with that sun in reverse. Leo energy on the sun, by the way. You're dwelling on wishes that haven't come true in the present. You might even be telling yourself that something is not going to happen for you. It's not going to happen. It's never going to happen. I'm never going to have that Ten of Cups. Blah, blah. There is more to life than a Ten of Cups. And you can find Ten of Cups in a lot of other places than with a romantic partner. Friendship, for instance, is highlighted here for you with that Three of Coins. Partnerships, healthy partnerships, but also interesting that we were talking about equilibrium and balance with the Queen of Swords, because that Three of Coins is also the perfect symphony between mind, body, and spirit. And how coming into union with oneself, it provides the perfect, the perfect environment for you to come into union with another, with the right person. There's also a lot of anxiety, regret, and a feeling of loss over giving something away that you were hoping to save for somebody who could provide you with a Ten of Cups. You don't see the wish happening. You have a lot of negative self-talk that's been going on here, even in the present. It's almost like you are a ray of sunshine for everybody but yourself. And, it's good that you have the attempt with that Four of Swords to really contemplate these things. You need to in this scenario. What else in the present, Gemini? Yeah, I'm looking at that affirmation, and if nothing else, tell yourself that you're financially secure and ain't nobody. You keep yourself warm, right? Okay. It's funny. I was looking at this one. Yeah, be brave. Have pride in who you are. Have courage to keep yourself warm. Have courage to confront yourself. Ask yourself the tough questions about, where am I lacking in between the mind, body, and spirit, and the union of those? Where do I need to have tough conversations with friends? This can also be about a balance of temper, attempting to not anger easily, tame that inner beast of emotion. You have to have the courage to continue to get up, dust yourself off, and keep going. Keep taking the risk. Keep loving yourself despite where you've lost out. Don't let rejection indicate your self-worth, right? I do talk a lot about how our personal worth is not determined by our net worth. Our personal worth is not determined by somebody else's inability to see our worth. Our personal worth is determined by our ability to see our own worth, and therefore demand that others act accordingly, right? If you don't, you're just giving people permission to treat you like garbage, yeah? Oh. Finally, in the present for you, and then we'll move into the future. I saw a couple things here. Oh, 10 of Coins in the reverse, and the 8 of Wands. Yeah, okay. So there's still the feeling, I'm adding this on as well here. You're not seeing communication coming through. There's a lack of feeling of legacy. You're not feeling that you're traveling towards having something on the earthly plane that survives you. You're not seeing where you've laid the path. So this is the thing about the Ten of Pentacles, okay? Hi, Capricorn. But being a Capricorn, I can speak at length about this one. Ten of Pentacles is building the path towards something. It's the question you ask yourself, what am I here for? What is my greater plan? What am I meant to do in this lifetime on this earth? What purpose do I serve? It's either your inability to communicate the purpose that you serve or the lack of direction there. There's communication that's blocked, or you don't have the ability to aptly communicate what it is that you feel your purpose is. That deeper feeling of direction, purpose in life. And you're asking yourself these things. And again, I want you to have the courage to confront yourself and the thought, because some people do need to know this. Not everybody does, and I don't want to be one of those condescending people that is constantly nailing it into somebody's skull that, you know, everybody needs to see past romantic relationships, because I know that's not true for a lot of people. But you need to have the courage. This is what the cards are saying. You need to have the courage to understand that this is not the only thing that exists in life and your personal worth. Your purpose in life is not to fall in love. And if you have been pursuing that and everything else has fallen by the wayside because you need to find a person, your person, I need to find my person, I need to find my person, I need to find my person, I need to get married, I need to find a kid, I need to have kids, I need to have that house with the kids and the da-da-da-da-da. That's not anybody's life purpose. We were born onto this earth ourselves. Having a companion to help you build on the earthly plane is fantastic. It's something that helps to support your goals and aspirations, and there's somebody who is there to celebrate with you. However, they're their own individual who is also born on the earthly plane unto themselves. And they have their own mission and their own purpose while on this plane and in this life. They have their own life purpose, right? You need to see so much more beyond what a Ten of Cups is. A Ten of Cups is not the only thing to live for. I know that we read books and poems, and we listen to songs, and we watch TV, and we flip through reels and posts and all the shit in the world that markets to us that, you know, finding the one is the thing. It's not the thing. It's not the thing. Because at the end of the day, if you cannot enjoy your own company, and if you don't know where your compass should be pointing, what your purpose on this planet is, what you are ultimately meant to do, what you can create that will survive you, then, you know, you get where I'm going with it, right? I'm sure you do. But it's your inability to even communicate. You might even have trouble, or you lack the courage, or you're trying to summon the courage to explain to somebody that you're not quite sure what your purpose is, or that you're not quite sure what your legacy is, or that you haven't found your legacy yet. Maybe you're just not ready, right? Like I said at the beginning of the reading, and I think there's always a reason why we say certain things and why we do certain things, unless, you know, you'd have to be a super calculated sociopath in order to recite and rehearse everything in life, but I think there's a huge reason why I brought up my trip in Mexico here, because, you know, going through pushing a certain age, you know, approaching 40 very quickly, you start thinking about all the things that you don't have all lined up yet that you thought you would, because we all thought we had a perfect plan at a certain point, right? But then sitting there, and I'm a writer, right? I'm a poet, all these other things. But sitting there, and I just fucking swam in the ocean for the first time in my life. I just finally left, you know, English-speaking North America for the first time in my life. You know, and just thinking of all those firsts. Oh my God, all these firsts. And I'm like ready to pack it up and call it in, because I think like, so this is what I'm saying, right? How do you even know? How could you possibly know right now? Maybe you're not ready to know yet. Maybe it's not time to know what your legacy is, what your purpose is. So it's okay if you don't know how to communicate that. And maybe here, what we see in the Strength card is having the courage to admit that. Having the courage to kind of try a couple of things. You know, there is nothing wrong with throwing spaghetti at the wall to make sure that it sticks. See what sticks. You know? If we all had it figured out, we'd all be successful by the time we were 20. And, you know, most people really aren't successful by the time they're 20. Our culture likes to tell people they should all be successful by the time they're 20. And in love by the time they're 20. And all that shit. Trust me, I thought I had it all figured out too by the time I was 20. And you know what? I was an empty nester by the time I was 32, divorced by the time I was 32, let me tell you. And then just last year, you know, the career I thought that I was going to have forever kind of just disintegrated. So, you know, and it wasn't my fault either. So, anyway, little left tangents. You get my drift though, right? In the future for you, Gemini. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Maybe you don't need to have it all figured out is what I gotta say on that. Anyway. For the future for you, Gemini. Nine of Wands. Yeah, you're tired of the struggle, yet you're on the verge of victory in the future. And you got a berm around yourself. Your heart door is open. You can see there's something growing within you. The tree of knowledge is growing within you. And your heart door is open. You need to be brave and have courage, yet you're sitting in a fucking berm. Be brave. Maintain the struggle. Because once you get to that 10 and you have all of those wands on your back, all of your passion, all your creativity, all your drive, all of the battles, all the hard-won battles, and you have all those lessons, guess what? So you can kind of just drop them all and you can be like, oh, yeah, I did it. And you can look at them all as lessons, right? Now, 10 of Pentacles isn't just about struggle or about responsibility. It's also about all of the hard-won lessons and all of the passion, the blood, sweat, and tears that it took to get somewhere, to achieve something, right? And you're contemplating this. You're contemplating coming out from that berm, not being so defensive, not being that, you know, battle-worn warrior. But you do have some contemplation that has to take place in order for that to occur, for you to actually come outside of that wall that you're building up around yourself. 5 of Cups in reverse. Yeah, you're doing it. You're exercising gratitude. What is it? Brene Brown. Foreboding joy. The most effective way to combat foreboding joy is with gratitude. And that is what you're going to do. You might not be dealing with foreboding joy, but you're going to exercise gratitude nonetheless. And that might actually help you to be less defensive, to actually be brave and to decide to take on that next lesson. You're on the verge of victory here. You're on the verge of a breakthrough. It's with your contemplation and your meditation and with looking within and taking stock of all of the lessons and all of the experiences that you've had, that you can actually earnestly say that you have gratitude. And remember those cups that aren't spilled, and say, I have these that do not need replenishing. I have these that are not spilled. They are mine, and I have maintained them nonetheless. Yes, I may not have had my wishes granted. Yes, I may have heard a lot of no's. And yeah, I may be sitting in darkness as opposed to having my moment in the sun, but I'm fucking grateful. Yeah? That's what you're saying. Let's go. Come on, gems. What else we got? Okay, the Lovers in the reverse. This is your card. You're returning to yourself. You've either chosen yourself or you're choosing a direction. I think you're choosing yourself. You might be continuing to look inward, having recognized what you do have to be grateful for. Continuing mindfulness, loving kindness meditation is something interesting that I'm getting here as well. You might turn from mindfulness meditation to loving kindness meditation. The Lovers is a choice in between several different options a lot of the time in the tarot. It's also your card. So again, that's why I'm focusing on you, focusing on yourself. That Four of Swords there. You have the opportunity to look at a Ten of Cups if you so choose, but I think you're choosing yourself. I think you're looking at what you have to be grateful for, and you're continuing to focus inward on your own journey. The love of self, so that one can love another more poignantly, more powerfully. Tell me more. Somebody's going to be disappointed in this. You could be keeping somebody in the dark about the fact that you're not willing to move forward with them in the future, because they're demanding too much of you. They're demanding you give of yourself more than you're willing to pay. And that is a huge debt. That is a huge debt when you're giving of yourself more than you're willing to pay. Tell me more, Gemini. We're doing it, aren't we? Man, that's not, I love when I get back into tarot. It feels so good. Play Let It Be or Never Mind. And if you want to see me cry, play Let It Be or Never Mind. All right. Let it be. Let it be. Yeah, so Beatles, Let It Be in particular. That's actually from Don't Swallow the Cat by The National, but it's like, and if you want to see me cry, play Let It Be or Never Mind. Anyway, the Two of Coins. Yeah, you are of two minds. What did I say? Scattered energy begets scattered results. So again, you know, that Two of Coins energy. Have the courage to drop one of those options. Your energy is scattered. You are looking at things. What do I typically say? As long as you are ambiguous with the universe will be ambiguous with you. You have to choose a direction. You are one individual, and you can't have one leg going left and one leg going right. Okay? So this is oftentimes rub two pennies together. This can be being a member of a club with a button or insignia. It can also be about ambiguity in your energy. A lot of times people will say that it's about juggling two choices when it comes to a relationship. No, it's about ambiguous energy with your resources, whether they be spiritual or monetary, something on the tangible plane. It's simply put, indecisiveness with your direction. And the need for courage with the Strength card. The need for courage to step up and make a decision. You might not be comfortable with voicing your opinion or with making decisions without other people impressing things upon you. You're dealing with a Leo here. You have Strength and the Sun. The Sun in reverse. Or you have Leo very heavily in your chart. You're playing a balancing act, trying to keep two things up in the air at once. And they're both of opposing forces. Remember to maintain that balance and to continue with your contemplative energy. Going within, asking yourself what you really think of things, and staying in the present moment. Not thinking too much in the past, not focusing too much on the future. Looking at where you are right now. How does this make me feel? What sensation am I feeling in my body? What is my first instinct when this kind of stuff is happening all around me? Not what will it eventually be, or what did I feel in the past last time. But also taking a minute to really meditate on yourself and be calm and kind to yourself as well. Okay, anything else? Anything else for you, Gemini? Okay, we had a flipper and a jumper. Star in the reverse, Aquarian energy. This is about healing. Coming out of healing, you still have a lack of focus on a direction towards a legacy, a path towards something that is greater than you, or a purpose. What is your purpose on the planet? What is your purpose in this life? With that Queen of Cups, it's a lack of intuition, a lack of direction, a lack of focus towards something that pushes you and compels you in an emotional sense. This is Scorpio energy. Also, Cancerian energy. I often see queens as our cardinal sign, so Cancerian energy. But this is about your intuitiveness. You have to heal that sense of yourself that is comfortable and secure in expressing confidently how you feel emotionally, and confidence in your intuition to follow a path and understand the greater purpose that you have. You need courage in order to do so. And in the future, that's going to be even more prevalent for you. All right, bottom of the deck. The Knight of Wands in the upright. Passion, forward movement, action. Sagittarian energy on that one for you. Waving the banner of creativity ahead of you. Charging in for something. I think, if anything, I think what this is really saying to us is that you need to be more passionate for yourself. Advocate for yourself. Passionately charge towards yourself. And we're always turning our energy outwards, right? I don't do that anymore. Look towards yourself. Focus on yourself. You know, the greatest return on investment is the investment you put into yourself. True story. Anyway, let's take a look at some magnetic poetry for you here. I pulled some for myself after talking to my boyfriend about how I was kind of disappointed that because we might have to move because our lease is going to be up soon. And I was like, I don't know if I'm going to get to garden. And I'm kind of bummed because I'm not planting anything. And because I'm not really sure if we're going to have to move at all, etc., etc. And I pulled a please self garden. So I thought that was pretty cool. I was like, oh, that's rather auspicious. Okay, what do we got? Okay. I am not going to make any sentences out of this. Okay, there you go. There you have it, Gemini. I'm so glad that we got to do this together today. And hopefully I'll get to do more readings. So check out your Rising Moon and Venus sign for additional messages. And again, biggest return on investment is the investment you put in yourself. Thanks again. We'll see you when we see you next. Bye. And if you want to see me cry, come on.